Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not. Hello, welcome back to Buy Wholesale. Today we're going to talk about Boohoo stock. We're going to talk about why I previously have sold this stock twice due to fundamental changes, why I've recently bought back in, and what my thoughts are going forward with this stock. Don't forget, if this is your first time to the channel, please hit the like button, please hit subscribe. We're trying to grow it, come on! Also, check out my featured article on routers back in June. The link can be found on my main page, as long as my Twitter page. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the Boohoo stocks had a bit of an up and down year, that's for sure. Everything was going great until obviously March, the financial crash. It dipped. On the back of this dip was my entry point, and I rode this right up until nearly £4, and things were looking rosy. Taking profits off the table, thankfully that I was doing that, and I was kind of only playing with the house money at that stage. And then the next crash came. Leicester, sweatshops, slavery, allegations, the whole lot came out. Stock plummeted. As soon as it opened up and went down, I think I was down like 15%, I just had to pull it out. And that's what you got to do with stocks. You've got to remember, when you're buying a stock, the reason you're behind it, the fundamentals, if any of that changes, just pull it out. Even if it's at a loss, it's a hard lesson to learn, but even if it's at a loss, just pull it out. That's what I did. When it finally reached the bottom, or I thought was the bottom, I rebought back in. After a few days, when they sort of digested the news, I rebought back in and I rode it back up again until the next time more allegations came out, this time to do with, again, slavery, and their auditors, PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, decided to no longer do their auditing, which really does spell bad news. At that point, I sold out again. Don't get me wrong, overall on this stock I am up considerably, so I can't complain, but it is annoying when things like that happen. But you've got to pull out and just let the dust settle. Dust is settled, and I've been keeping an eye on the stock now. I let it sit for longer than probably, looking on hindsight being 2020, longer than probably I needed to. And as you can see here, Boohoo have hired new auditors in PKF Little John. They're a small outfit. There's no smoke without fire. I think that there is definitely issues there, and that'll be why PwC have won nothing to do with Boohoo. But you've got to look at it. Boohoo is not going to go away. Boohoo will be fine at the end of this, and that's just the harsh world of business, and that's the reality of it. Short term, bumpy, but long term, it'll be fine. In the short term, I think there's a swing trade here to be had, folks. There's earnings update coming out on the 14th of January, which is less than 2 weeks away. It's precisely actually 8 days away. So 8 days time, there's going to be an update, and I expect Boohoo to absolutely smash earnings. And this stock, in my opinion, is undervalued right now. Allegations to the side for now. Boohoo have been buying every type of clothing brand that's out there. Anything that is going to liquidation, anything that is going bankrupt, Boohoo come in, waving the checkbook, and they're buying these brands. You can see some of the brand names here. So not only do they have Boohoo and Boohoo Man, they've got Karen Millen, Coast, Pretty Little Thing, Nasty Gal, Miss Pop, Oasis, and Warehouse. And there's talk of them buying Top Man and Top Shop. The list goes really on now. So what does this mean to the consumer, really? The consumer probably naively doesn't understand that these companies have went bust, probably not keeping up with day-to-day news. They just go on websites and buy things, and that's just how it works now. A lot of these here are women clothing lines, and my wife, who I ask about the thing, I go, have you heard about all this? Do you know that they're going bust? Yes, she's heard bits and bobs, but she doesn't know. She maybe hears the news initially. Oh, Top Man, Top Shop's going to go into bankruptcy. That's it, the end of the news. As far as she's concerned, she can go on in 6 months' time. Top Man's still going, still buy stuff if she wants. And that's because of change in ownership. So Boohoo are doing brilliantly like this year. They buy dead brands or brands that are on their way out and revitalise them simply by doing one thing, using influencers, using modern day things that these companies and these previously big establishments over the last 10-20 years have just took their eye off the ball. Paying for influencers is the easiest way of getting traction. Okay, so things like Love Island, or at least I don't watch any of this crap, but like my wife loves it, and most women seem to love reality programs, and there's the men too. But programs like Love Island, I think there's a new one my wife's raving about now called The Cabin or something. Anyway, what they do is they put these Z-list celebrities or just nobodies into an environment, and they style them and profile them, as Ric Flair would say. And pretty much when you see these dresses, women then go, fuck, I love that dress, look at that, where can I get that? Google that girl's name or whatever, and what you will find is fast fashion. Okay, fast fashion, Boohoo are the kings and queens of that. So what they do is they see an article that's getting trending, maybe on Instagram or whatever, and they go, let's make that as soon as possible and get it onto our websites. And that's what they do. And the next minute, it just takes off. So they're doing great. They're restoring old brands. They've got a big brand portfolio there, and that are just going to do nothing but throb. So look, Boohoo fundamentally, balance sheets rock hard, making hand over fist, far more money than the majority of any of their main competitors, which is fantastic. The only big red herring is these auditor things. What are they going to do about the sweatshops? There's a big question mark over that. They've done a lot of it brushing underneath the carpet. Whether they're guilty or not guilty, that's yet to be seen. But in the short term, in the very short term, and it's a highly volatile stock, because I've seen it twice now that big massive drops can happen. But two things: if you believe in the stock long term, and I think that the stock will be fine long term, then don't be afraid of the drops. But in the short term, you can make significant gains. I would be stunned if anyone doesn't put money in now. Bear in mind, there's no more nightmares with allegation comes out. But if it stays squeaky clean between now and the 14th of January, you will get a significant return. I would be stunned if Boohoo is not up to £4 a share by then. So we're at about 3.55 right now. So it's not a huge amount of growth there, but there still is potential for even more growth than that. And again, I'm being conservative. This video is just to say all the allegations, they're still there. We don't know what the future holds for Boohoo in terms of how the auditors, will they have to increase prices to pay staff more, all this kind of unknowns. But even looking at the balance sheets, looking at where the company's going to go, I think if they even have to make changes, there'll be no problem. This stock is still one for the long term, but there could be potential for a bumpy road ahead. But between now and the 14th, I think you could build up a good position to be able to absorb any big declines if there was any future news. So it's not a bad time to buy Boohoo. That would be my recommendation. But of course, I am not a financial advisor. Please take everything that I say as educational. Just chatting to you about it. Please do your own due diligence on it. And yeah, hopefully, let's hope for the next few weeks to be a big time for the Boohoo stock. That's the video, guys. If you've liked it, found it informative, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. I'll keep you up to date with any more Boohoo news. Peace.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not.